Some luxury cars are created with absolute clarity. They are not confused about what they are. They are not trying to impress everyone. They are built with intention, design language, brand philosophy, a clear emotional purpose. Customization promises improvement, but it can also erase meaning. This video is not about money. It is not about shock value. And it is not about craftsmanship alone. It is about what happens when a car forgets why it exists. Today, we're ranking when customization ruins a luxury car. From builds where the original vision collapses almost instantly, to those where the intent survives, but only just. These cars were not ruined by poor engineering. They were ruined by excess overriding purpose. Because once a luxury car loses its original intent, nothing added afterward truly belongs. Let's begin. 10 Mercedes Benz G Class by maNsory. We start at number 10. The Mercedes Benz G Class was never designed to be elegant. It was designed to be honest. Its boxy proportions communicate strength. Its flat panels express durability. Even in its most luxurious versions, the G Class remains grounded in function. That clarity is its identity. maNsory customization disrupts that identity immediately. Carbon fiber panels are applied without hierarchy. Visual elements stack on top of one another. Vents, flares, and textures compete rather than cooperate. The G Class does not need decoration to feel powerful. Its authority comes from restraint and confidence. maNsory replaces that confidence with noise. The silhouette becomes heavier. The surfaces lose their purpose. What was once disciplined now feels restless. Some admire this build because it is unmistakable. It looks expensive. It announces modification from a distance. But recognition is not the same as respect. Critics see a vehicle that abandoned its roots, a tool turned into an ornament, a machine that stopped communicating purpose and started chasing reaction. This build prioritizes attention over meaning. It does not extend the G Class legacy. It interrupts it. That complete loss of original intent places it at number 10. 9 Bentley Bentayga by maNsory. At number 9, execution improves slightly, but the conflict remains. The Bentley Bentayga was designed to deliver calm authority. It represents refinement scaled upward. Luxury without urgency, power without aggression. Its surfaces are smooth for a reason. Its proportions are relaxed by design. maNsory introduces sharpness where softness defines the car. Body extensions become more aggressive. Carbon fiber replaces painted elegance. Wheels grow larger and louder than the body can support. Individually, these elements are well crafted. Together they distort the Bentayga message. The vehicle stops feeling composed. It starts feeling assertive. Bentley luxury is about reassurance. This build introduces tension. Supporters argue that it modernizes the Bentayga, that it adds edge to a conservative design. But edge was never missing. Restraint was intentional. When the Bentayga begins to chase presence, it loses the quiet confidence that defines the brand. The original intent does not fully disappear here, but it is compromised enough to create discomfort. That unresolved identity conflict earns it number 9. 8 Rolls-Royce Cullinan by maNsory. At number 8, the craftsmanship becomes undeniable, but restraint still fails. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan is built around inevitability. It does not demand attention. It assumes it. Every surface communicates calm dominance. Every proportion reinforces ceremony. maNsory approaches the Cullinan with ambition. Aggressive splitters appear. Carbon fiber replaces painted serenity. Visual drama begins to surround the spirit of ecstasy, rather than support it. Nothing here is poorly made. That is what makes the result more disappointing. Rolls-Royce luxury depends on silence, on effortlessness, on the absence of tension. This customization introduces friction. The cullinan starts to feel performative, less composed, more eager to be seen. Some admire the authority this build projects. They see strength, they see dominance. But Rolls-Royce was never about asserting dominance. It was about embodying it. The original intent is not destroyed, but it is diluted. That tension between excellence and excess places this build at number 8. 7. Ferrari 812 Superfast by maNsory. Number 7 marks a clear turning point. The Ferrari 812 Superfast is defined by engineering logic. Long proportions, rear-biased aggression. Every line exists for speed and balance. Ferrari design already operates at the edge of visual intensity. maNsory customization here is more disciplined. Aerodynamic components follow airflow logic. Carbon elements enhance aggression without random placement. The stance becomes more dramatic but remains coherent. The issue is not chaos, it is overstatement. Ferrari identity relies on precision. When additional layers are added, clarity suffers. The car becomes visually heavier, less fluid, more confrontational than intentional. Supporters see brutality, they see race-inspired violence. They see commitment, but something is lost. The elegance of Ferrari engineering fades behind surface emphasis. The balance between beauty and force collapses slightly. This build feels deliberate, but it pushes beyond Ferrari intended threshold. That controlled overreach earns it number 7. 6. Lamborghini Urus by maNsory. At number 6, excess becomes more controlled. The Lamborghini Urus was designed to be extreme. Sharp lines, aggressive posture, visual drama is part of its DNA. maNsory understands this language. Carbon elements align with existing angles. The body grows wider but remains coherent. Nothing feels completely foreign to the original design. However, intent still shifts. The Urus was meant to balance theatrics with usability. This build leans heavily toward display. The vehicle feels closer to a concept car than a production machine. Intensity becomes constant. There is no visual pause. Lamborghini still designs with rhythm, with hierarchy. maNsory compresses everything into maximum expression. The Urus does not lose its identity, but it loses its pacing. That controlled but overwhelming transformation places it firmly at number 6. 5. Porsche 911 Turbo S by maNsory. At number 5, perception begins to shift. The Porsche 911 Turbo S is built on continuity. Its identity is evolutionary, revolutionary. Every generation refines the last. Performance balance and daily usability exist together. Porsche design values precision above drama. maNsory approaches the 911 with more restraint than lower-ranked builds. Aerodynamic components are sharper but follow functional logic. Carbon fiber is present but not overwhelming. The stance becomes more aggressive without abandoning proportion. For the first time, excess begins to feel partially justified. The Turbo S already operates near performance limits. Visual enhancement does not feel immediately dishonest. The issue lies in lineage disruption. The strength of the 911 is familiarity. It is instantly recognizable. maNsory changes interrupt that recognition. The car begins to feel less like Porsche evolution and more like reinterpretation. Critics soften their stance because execution is clean. Craftsmanship respects the platform. Nothing feels randomly applied. But original intent still takes damage. The Turbo S was meant to represent understated speed. This build moves it toward exhibition. Balance is not broken, but it is altered. That partial compromise places it at number 5. For Aston Martin DBX by maNsory, number 4 represents genuine execution. The Aston Martin DBX was designed to translate British performance elegance into an SUV. Its identity rests on proportion, restraint, and subtle athleticism. It was never meant to dominate visually. maNsory customization here shows maturity. Body modifications are integrated rather than imposed. Carbon elements follow natural lines. The stance becomes more assertive without appearing forced. Craftsmanship is evident throughout. For once, customization works with original design instead of against it. The DBX gains presence without losing refinement. Attention is commanded, not chased. Original Aston Martin character remains visible. Grace is reduced slightly, but not erased. Critics acknowledge the discipline of this build. Even skeptics recognize the increase in confidence. So why does it not reach the top 3? Because something subtle is still lost. The DBX was meant to feel effortless. This version feels intentional. That difference matters. Original intent survives, but it is reshaped. That narrow gap places it at number 4. 3 Rolls-Royce Ghost by maNsory. At number 3, excess becomes expression. The Rolls-Royce Ghost represents restrained modern luxury. It is less ceremonial than the Phantom, more contemporary, more subtle. Its design language allows interpretation. maNsory uses that flexibility effectively. Customization feels cohesive. Proportions are respected. Visual aggression is restrained. Materials are applied with hierarchy. For the first time, maNsory enhances rather than interrupts identity. The Ghost retains composure. Its presence deepens instead of destabilizing. Even critics acknowledge the balance. This build does not shout. It speaks firmly. Original intent evolves rather than collapses. Luxury remains calm. Authority remains intact. Excess becomes a tool, not a distraction. That controlled transformation earns it number 3. To Ferrari SF9 Aventador by maNsory. Number 2 comes close to perfection. The Ferrari SF9 Aventador represents a technological shift. Hybrid performance, future-focused design. Aggression balanced by precision. Its identity is already experimental. maNsory customization pushes boundaries carefully. Aerodynamic enhancements align with the car purpose. Carbon fiber reinforces speed rather than distracts from it. The stance becomes more purposeful, not chaotic. This build feels like evolution. Customization does not overwrite Ferrari logic. It extends it. The SF90 remains sharp. It remains technical. It remains focused. So why does it stop short of number 1? Because Ferrari design is already complete. Any addition risks redundancy. This build respects intent, but it does not redefine it. It enhances. It does not transform. That distinction holds us at number 2. 1 Lamborghini Aventador by maNsory. At number 1, everything comes together. The Lamborghini Aventador was never designed to be restrained. It exists to be dramatic, to be excessive, to be theatrical. Its original intent embraces visual extremity. maNsory understands this completely. Every modification feels earned. Carbon fiber aligns with sharp geometry. Proportions remain aggressive, but coherent. Nothing feels apologetic. This build does not fight Aventador identity. It amplifies it. The car becomes more itself. Excess does not erase meaning. It fulfills it. This is the rare case where customization reinforces purpose instead of replacing it. Balance identity and intent align. That is why this build sets the benchmark. Number 1. Looking back at this ranking, one truth becomes clear. Customization is not the enemy of luxury. Misalignment is. When modifications ignore intent, identity collapses. When they respect it, evolution becomes possible. Some cars in this list lost themselves completely. Others bent but survived. A few became stronger. Luxury design is fragile. It depends on balance, on knowing when to stop. Excess alone does not define failure. Losing purpose does. These cars remind us that the most important element in luxury is not cost or craftsmanship or attention. It is intention, and once that is gone, nothing added afterward truly belongs.